All right. So welcome back to the anthropology class. What is anthropology? If this is your first time taking an anthropology class, or you've never heard of that before, don't worry. That's pretty typical. Most American high schools don't have anthropology classes, so this is the first time many of you will have exposure to it. But I just wanted to go over some basics of anthropology. Anthropology attempts to break down barriers between traditional sciences. In the United States, especially, we have this idea that there are hard sciences and then there are soft sciences. There is biology and then there's culture, and these things are totally separate. But anthropology is unique among all the different majors and all the different academic studies because it tries to understand human beings as both biological creatures and also cultural creatures, and tries to understand humans holistically. This word holism, you've probably read it in your book. And so you understand humans from lots of different kinds of angles rather than just trying to understand how their body works or how to, as in biology, understand how their mind works, as in psychology. We try to know a little bit about all of these different things and understand the human being and the human experience as a whole, holistically. So it breaks down barriers and finds connections among perceived opposites, the individual versus society, mundane versus exotic, and human versus animal. I like this quote on this top right of the screen by Alfred Kroeber quite a bit. Anthropology is excuse me, I'm gonna start again. Anthropology is the most humanistic of the sciences and the most scientific of the humanities. So it really gets at this idea that anthropology exists between these traditional sciences and attempts to combine them. The most important tool of anthropology is something called ethnography, which you're going to learn a lot about, but don't worry if you don't know what that is quite yet. But ethnography is a long-term field study. Anthropologists sort of invented this tool as a way to better understand different peoples. Before anthropology came into existence, people would read travel logs and these other sorts of third-hand accounts and second-hand accounts of people that lived in different places around the world and not actually go and visit them. And we're going to talk a lot more about that later, so don't get too stressed out yet. Anthropo, as in anthropology, but anthropo is Greek for human being or humankind, and logia is also Greek, and it just means knowledge of or study of. So put together, anthropology just simply means the study of human beings, and it doesn't delineate and say the study of human culture, the study of human disease. It just says the study of humans, and again, it's a holistic science. Now, that being said, there are subfields of anthropology. There's actually many subfields, but we're going to be talking about the four main subfields. Anybody talks about the four main subfields, they're talking about these subfields, which are biological anthropology. It's also sometimes called physical anthropology, so don't get confused. Biological and physical anthropology are the exact same thing. There is cultural or social anthropology. Again, they mean the exact same thing. It's the same subfield of anthropology. And there's archaeology and linguistic anthropology. And together, this is that holistic perspective of anthropology where you're trying to understand human beings as a whole.